Going over the Barclays campus.
Grey subject in it.
So can you film people while they're at their work?
Aye, you can.
I'm not probably can.
Aye, that's what I do, pal. That's what my video's about.
It's like we prefer not, but
Aye, everybody says that. Old building, it's been fenced off, all the long grass. It's obviously 2 inches of the staff car park had a man.
An entry point, that is a red flag for us, you understand that, don't you?
What are you talking about, sorry?
Like, see the end there, it's a garage entrance.
For the car park?
Aye, you're just...
Yeah, I'm not going to pop a drone up, I'm just trying to work out the best bit to do it.
This is private property, this cross.
Aye, but it's open to public. I've got,
It's public access room.
I've got pedestrian rights, so if somebody's flying in the middle here. Watching Chopper now, try and make the view quite Spider-Man like. Welcome back to the channel, guys and girls. Today we're in Glasgow, we're doing another viewer's request. This time it's for 999 G31, and he says we should do the Bartley campus in Tradeston. The exterior security turned full bozo on me for flying up outside my flat next door. And he also puts, and don't forget the dodgy cash and carries full of illegal vapes next to it and around it. So you can see Bartley's over there. Take it that's it above it. I'm not sure if that's over there as well. That's flats next to it. And the cash and carries I think he's referring to is over here and over there. Well, that's the car park to it. It's going to be awkward with the drone for line of sight as well. There was a big Bartley sign somewhere. In fact, there's up there. See that for the motorway? So that must be Bartley's building as well, and that one. So we'll keep walking round and try and figure out what I'm going to be flying over. This Centre Street. We've got an entrance in here as well. Traffic lights. Did I say to this guy about the drone? I'm going to fly a drone over the Barclays campus. You use the day betters?
Aye, to do it, but it's pure grey subject in it. We better have talking to somebody else, man.
Who? Where else?
Where
is the campus? I spoke to this guy just a turned up.
Here. So obviously it's like, it's private land but public access.
Aye.
So basically,
so you get every right to pedestrian.
But then obviously they're not a big fanny. So you can kind of, as long as there's no
private banking and stuff like that. If anybody flying a drone, the quality can tend to catch things, which is
so it's like the Windies. It's a people's workplace.
You can film people while they're at their work.
Aye, you can.
I'm not probably can.
Aye, that's what I do, pal. That's what my video's about.
Okay.
Right, I turn out to places and fly the drone where people think, oh, they own the airspace above, and I basically correct them. That's what somebody's requested this place.
Okay.
So I've turned up and want to fly the drone. It's just basically, there's no malice in it. Basically, all I want to see is a working place. I want to kind of get the Bartley sign along the front of my drone. We fly round about, back down.
Right, so if you remain high, and maybe if you do, are you able to do it for like Clydeside?
Just Clydeside from there.
Just that side?
Aye, but I'm kind of trying to get my, because I walked down there first, before as I first turned up. Parked my vehicle and walked by that, and that shop's round there.
Right.
So I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I'm going.
Because at the end of
But is this Bartley's as well?
So this is all Bartley's.
What's with the long grass?
That's just what they want, I guess. Right.
It looks like it's abandoned, you know what I mean?
Right. No, we've got a gardener, so...
We've got bees and that up on the roof there. This is for, they're trying to basically save the bees. So
Save the bees? Alright, it's a green design or something.
Yeah.
Right, just it looks like a place has been fenced off and abandoned, so you see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gardener's not very good. I keep telling that, you see.
That's obviously what they want, but it's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird.
Right, so is anybody for Bartley's I should speak to?
But
where would I go?
We deal with the outside.
Right.
So
you're saying best place to fly for that side?
So basically we deal with the campus. See if you're in the Clyde side, you're not really into the us. We oversee it.
But pedestrians have got the same
well,
right as
like,
every pedestrian?
It's council. We oversee it, but it's council.
Aye, so basically I can fly for, I can fly for here then, basically.
Well,
My thing is I want to get that...
Here, this is the council.
I want to get that Bartley's, but it's open to public. There's no sign saying stay out private property.
No.
So I want to get that Bartley's sign in my drone footage. So if I fly for there, I'm not going to see it. I've got to keep line of sight my drone at all times.
Do you not see the thing?
You see it on my screen, aye, but that's illegal not to be able to see the drone. I've got to be visually watching it. See, I do everything below, that's why I've got to...
So basically, to my knowledge, it's like we prefer not, but
everybody says that.
preferred, what I mean. So I don't really know the ins and outs. I'm not going to sit here and lie.
Right.
to you,
No,
but from my employer, it's like we're not a big fan of it. So I don't know, man. Not a big fan. You can go in, our office is up there, you can go in and chat to them.
Really?
Just up that door that's open there, you can
That
go
one
and
there?
chat to them.
Well, what I'm going to do is go to a walk around about. I'm just going to try and get my bearings because I thought the Bartley sign was on top of that building and I realised it was there, so I've kind of turned up.
So it's one you can see for the motorway,
Sign on the far side of the
Aye, but I
building.
think it's quite good to fly the drone by it.
But
That's what I want to get the footage, kind of like Bartley's.
So that's where
And I just got a lock on the roof, how
there's
you know is
two
it?
bigger signs.
What's on the roof, nothing?
I don't. There's bees in that other building.
Aye, is that meant to be or is that?
It's bees. Aye, it's,
Right.
it's a high
Colony.
situation.
So I'll stay well above it and just kind of zoom in. I
Aye.
mean, if there's bees, I'm not going to distract them. Or interfere with them. Try with wildlife and that to try.
Aye.
But seagulls don't like my drone, they seem to try to take out.
We see it all the time, right?
Right.
That thing.
Right, so I'll go walking about. New office is up there, pal.
There, right.
You, cheers, buddy. Thanks. So as I parked my vehicle, I walked round that way. I spoke to that nice guy, the road sweeper. And that's why I started my video up there. But I seen shops round the front, so that's why I was a bit confused. See what I'm talking about? It's like a old building. It's been fenced off, all along grass. I take it that graffiti wasn't planned. Walk along here. So that's the big building I was talking about, the Bartley sign. That's what I want to kind of mainly focus on. I had a quick glance online, but I'll check after we've had an interaction with somebody. But it said they've got a hair salon, a gym, a restaurant, and it's not the company to work. That's interesting, but I don't normally fly over places like this. Can't really see inside. It's at the top. Right, so that's Bartley's there as well. So that's Bartley's. Don't know what that is over there. That's Bartley's. Hell knows what that is. That's Bartley's. And down there's Bartley's. It is weird turning up to a place and you're bang in the middle and try to actually figure out what the building's with, and that's Bartley's as well. Right, so walk down the Clyde front. I just want to see what these buildings are. Because I know these were shops, I'm not sure what these were. I can see some sort of cinema screen, but the mirror's reflecting back. I just want to try and... I don't think the zoom camera will pick that up. It's really hard to see. That's a grill place in there. So in front of us we've got the squiggly bridge, so we'll walk on it, take some footage of the water, even though it looks Baltic and brown. Ah, there's a Bartley sign up there as well. A train leaving the central. So I said there were shops down there. I totally missed the big Bartley sign up there as well. And another one up here. So above the bar and grill and these shops, Bartley's on all that building. And over there was a Tesco's, I'm sure. Right, so Bartley's do own the full campus. So I could possibly fly for here. So what we'll do is we'll walk up here and we'll cut in the middle. So we've got barriers here. Great ones move. Look down there. See staff. Across here we've got another entrance. Looks like to a car park. I think we've got another one next door as well. So obviously two entrances to the staff car park, I'd imagine. So that's Tesco's down there, and up here can't really see inside. That Bartley sign, I was wanting to see that, I still can't see it. So we'll walk back and go down. I'm not sure if this security guard's watching me. It's kind of followed one way round. But he's probably just doing his patrol. So there's Bartley's there. On top of security, you look through the vehicles. One guy there. There's one guy behind the bus. The guy's obviously doing his patrol. How you doing? How's things?
You know, we're always going to ask you, see with garages, we don't see like the entry sequence and entry point. That is a red flag for us, you understand that, don't you?
What are you talking about, sorry?
Like, see the end there, it's a garage entrance.
For the
Just
car
you're
park?
filming, aye, you're just wondering why. You understand?
I told you guys I do it for social media, it's my hobby,
no,
but I
I get
join
that. I
that.
know, but see, just that, you understand our position that day because it's an entry access point.
What's it for? Is it for the workers?
It's a garage point, aye.
Aye, so it's just staff car park.
Aye.
It's the building I'm taking in, Bartley's.
No, I understand.
If it's
but
private
you
residence, different.
You can see my point, can you, just because it's an entry point? We just wondered why, because it's fine, get it, it's
Aye,
lovely.
I did speak to you beforehand, just tells me a
I
video
can
of
take
the
the
Bartleys,
pictures
you know what I mean?
now, aye.
Yeah, I'm not going to pop a drone up, I'm just trying to work out the best bit to do it. Was it yourselves to speak to him? Aye, was it this guy was to speak to? He said to go speak to somebody.
Aye,
No, I
I was going to get your office next, I was just walking through here.
Wait, is your drone and stuff?
It's in my bag now.
Oh, wait, why is this?
Aye, it's below
you know
250.
the galaxies and all that, because you fly it.
You can actually fly heavier drones now, people, but it's still under the 250. It's a small drone.
Right.
I'm just trying to work out my best, but I was wanting that Bartley sign, but it's kind of awkward because it's, if you're taking off up, it's way up there and I've got to keep line of sight all the times as I tell your colleague. So I'm trying to fly safely, the best bit.
We advise, see on here, see like we see it is the waterfront, right? So see like it is, we go over this is private property, this cross.
Aye, but it's open to public.
It's public access.
I've got pedestrian rights, so if you don't restrict my pedestrian, if I'm a pedestrian, anywhere I can fly my drone.
Aye.
It's not got any restrictions about here, there's no bylaws, I checked that as well. Just in case there was a bylaw for this area, Buchanan Wharf is it called?
It used to be.
Is it not that? Well, that's what I checked. There's no bylaws here, so I'll be flying safely. There was in a crowd, the place is quiet. Now a crowd defines if you can't move or a drone was to fall. Now the drone's like zoning, it's lighter than a bird. But a crowd's like that, if you're like a concert and can't move, that's a crowd. This place is empty, you know what I mean, it's not busy.
See, I understand that, but you're deeming for where you'd be positioned, where you fly out, you can't deem a crowd that you can't see, but you see with your drone. But
So I can see the drone.
As I'm going to state to you, see the waterfront, we don't have an issue with people necessarily flying them through there. You can't have you doing it directly in the middle of there, flying it. As you're saying, it's not a crowded area. You see when these people go on their breaks, this gets busy really fast, so it turns into a populated area.
Aye, but it's not going to be as in can't move, squash like that.
Thousands of people in the building.
I know, if they come out a fire alarm, that's different. Then I would put my drone straight down.
When it's a break time, it's busy enough.
Aye, they're not going to come out the one time though, know what I mean?
It's busy enough for you not to have your drone above.
Aye, but I know what a crowd is, and that's not a crowd.
But I understand, but I'm stating.
Unless they're all going to a coffee shop at the one time, there's a big queue line, I would stay away from them, know what I mean, because they're stuck together.
You don't know how many people's in the building, do you? That's what I'm saying. But you said a fire alarm, so there's one, you've answered that question yourself.
If I went off, I'd land the drone, in fact, I'd bring the drone back and video it, to be honest. I'd stay away for the crowd below. That's what I'm saying, I turn up, I'd know the laws, pal.
Even if you want to do the Barclays scene, you can stand at the other side of the road and do it.
I know, but it's saying I can't really see. I've got to find somewhere I've got a good line of sight. So I'm maybe going to Keogh in that Bartley sign. There's got Bartley signs round that side as well. But it'd been good to get that one and just fly along the side of it.
Usually to see that side, well, you've been, I know you went to the bridge, but you've nowhere to see when you stand at the water. That's the whole appeal of this, to that side. See what you see.
There's all shops at the bottom, you know what I mean? It's.
I know, but it's above their height.
Aye.
You're going, that's that whole Bartley.
So there's all Bartleys above it?
You can see when you're going by the motorway and stuff.
I see that Bartley sign, that's what I was targeting.
You see that by the building, but the selling point is the other side.
Honest, I've never been here since the Bartley's campus, that's how
I'm walking, that might be
right.
I'll explain what I've been doing.
Right. Well, as I'm saying, I'm just basically I've got my bearings of the place. I'm just looking for a best place to take off. Where it's there, or where it's over here.
What I was trying to explain was that you can see with other issues, something see like entry points, that seem to take pictures. You know where Joe?
Aye, you just go, that's why I tell you straight away that to take away that suspicious thing.
But you understand why we'd always come and ask us. So it says just.
But somebody would video that at night when he's on the watching, or wait till he's walked by. You know what I mean? He's got high vis on. He's highly visible. It's the first thing I noticed was on the security.
You work with cameras. There's cameras everywhere. And especially in this world, there's cameras. There is cameras everywhere. Again, it's just that. It's something that just flags up, innit? We've always got to send out to deal with it, it doesn't matter, I mean, I'm used to it.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what it is. Like,
See, like if I was to take off like here, or even there,
aye, so see if you're
I'm not going to get much line of sight. See, my problem is I'll only be able to go up and just about that over the roof, and then my joint's going to be hidden. I'm not going to see nothing. So I might even be further afield, because I want to get a kind of good view. Even in the middle, the buildings are high up, so I'm going to be able to fly probably just 50 feet that way, 50 feet. So I'm going to look maybe way over there in the corner, fly over.
In theory, like, if you done, like, I understand it, but see if you done that to that side, you're flying over water slowly, so it's
aye,
not
but I
an
don't
issue.
like flying over water.
No, I know, but my point is, it's not an issue for me, so see you're doing it near the water.
Aye.
You're literally...
I mean, it might be that's my best view.
It's your best point of taking up. If
I've
you're
no
going there, yeah, there's not much.
Aye, I'm just basically, as I said to your colleague, there's no matter, I just want to basically see the Bartley campus. I do hundreds of places. And it's no, this is kind of the first time I've done a place like this.
Yeah.
Normally I turn up to places like your Fitbit stadiums or where our kind of businesses or bakeries.
I work at Park Evening match day.
Oh, do you?
Aye. Yeah, so there's always two at the end. You see two drones going up there, and then the confusion starts because they're not sure if it's the TV mob that's filming it.
Aye.
It's your drone.
Well, the TV mob are kind of pushing it because the guy flies up and just goes up above the roof. That's really pushing it. You really shouldn't be anywhere near.
Even
Because
with
there's
the
crowd
games,
outside as
see
well.
the Europa League games, they go in the wire.
Aye.
Just go up down trackside.
Right.
That's like Italy and stuff over there.
You look at it tied to the ground. There's there is different rules you can get the way
Different
around
country, I
about
suppose
it.
a bit different.
But it is pushing it. I've seen the one where they go up and they basically go to the edge of the roof and then they fill on the pitch. I mean, there's people pushing into the stadium at the last minute. You always know that.
I can't mind, but the one they put out with the football is massive.
Aye.
You know what I mean? But it's weird how it's a populated area and all that.
Aye. But realistically, the joint shouldn't be anywhere near the stadium, to be honest. But they're just pushing it. They're pushing
There's
it.
two people at the end of the game that are putting it out. The police, they caught one ages ago when he'd landed at the Funamanique's flat on the top of Springy Road. They're two they can't fund who's there, you know what I mean? But, aye, so what I'm saying is, see that there? Like, that's where the whole point of this is. That is, like, see pictures of this, that's it.
Right, that's it.
Aye, so you see the battles, that's the whole idea. I mean, see for the motorway, you've got umpteen things in front of it, so that's pretty
So watch where that's probably a good bit to fly through. That way I can do a 360 right round Keyring. Because I do want to see the roof, but again, it's just, I take off here, I'm not going to, I'll basically go up to the top, that corner, and I'll just go back down, because I'm not going to see the drone. So I'm not figuring out my take-off point, I'm just basically getting my bearings.
It's usually like, see, because you're further back,
aye.
It's like you have to land it there, then it's not really much an issue.
It's just, the water's just too far back, you know what I mean? If it was halfway, that river was half the size, it'd be ideal the other side of the water. Well, it might be even the other side, but it's just the traffic's kind of, I don't like flying over traffic because in case somebody's driving by sees it, because it might distract them. But I is probably looking this side I maybe take off from. I'm just still trying to get my bearings. I mean,
see again, see with this, right? Again, I know you said you know the bylaws and whatnot, but way that is maybe a concern for us. We see there, that is it's council property overseen by us.
Right, but there is.
Yeah, so we oversee it on behalf of the council, see, because it's part of the site. Hence, we walk by all these barriers and stuff. So it is part of the site, but the jurisdictions are a bit different because that is technically is. Let's see, years ago, if you ever see pictures of this, used to be roads. There was like 4 lanes that ran up here. That was a long time ago, right enough. So.
Years ago. But that is like one of my take-off points. Is that going to be an issue you?
Not necessarily, no. Because where we were up at the bridge isn't my concern either.
Aye. So no, the bridge, I'm not going to do it in the bridge because there's people walking by me and they're going to, somebody could distract me.
Because that falls into sort of, it's not, it's council land, you understand what I'm saying, it's council land, we oversee it, see if it's land social behaviour and stuff. Hence the reason we go out, we move drinkers, that one, you know, stuff like that type thing, you know what I mean? So.
Well, the thing is, it's open to the public, so I've got the same rights as a pedestrian, and pedestrians can fly drones, you know what I mean, so it's open, there's no signs.
It's a minefield and all that, isn't it?
But as I was saying, I'm not too sure. It's just because of the height of the building, I'm still trying to figure out my take-off point, and that's the main thing. It might even be way over there, but I'm saying it's just...
The tallest building is the one, see the one in the van at the back?
I'm going to have to either take off twice or just forget about that one. I might take off twice, but it's just a sign, you've got signs here. My main point is just to take off, get a wee 360 40, a wee fly round about and back down. Saying half the folk wouldn't notice, and I'll up the height of the roof as well. I'll not be flying.
Yeah, so see if you're doing it for this area on this side, I'm not talking about the other side, if you're doing it for that area in a safe manner, it's fine for us. If you're flying around about, I'm not right talking about any other, so I understand.
I'm not going to distract anybody. Maybe somebody sees it's taken off, you know what I mean, but that's it.
You see, again, if you do this, you know what I'm saying. See the thing, you can phone people know that, but see people at the place of work, the unrest is a case of, as long as you want to buzz up windows, you're not going to do that and all that, 'cause you're only going to get a view.
Aye, I might just get a view of the building.
Aye, but you know what I mean.
If somebody comes up to the window and stares out like that, then they maybe see it. Plus it's reflective glass as well, you know what I mean? They're not going to...
I know, it's sort of like you can't see screens, no, I'm well aware of it.
But I think here's going to be the bit I'm taking off. Maybe here and over the other side of the road, but I'll try and do my estate here. Yes. Alright pal, been only about 20 minutes and then we're going. Alright, nice meeting you.
No, take it easy.
Right, take care, cheers. Oh, we had a great long chat with that guy. That guy was brand new. So I think I will take off here. So check online, it says Bartley, Scotland, welcome to our Glasgow campus. Explore our state-of-the-art campus in Scotland. It says bringing Glasgow to life. It's hard to describe the unique culture of our Glasgow campus, so we asked Glasgow poet Sam and Chopper the drone to fly over and show you all. That's what it should say. In the heart of Glasgow, at the centre of our global business, a landmark in regeneration, a place where you can belong. Here you will find a welcoming and supportive place with a positive, inclusive culture and a strong sense of belonging. Well, security were top notch here, so I'm not going to hang about. We'll get the big gun up before the wind gets worse. So clear on drone assist, get the big gun up. Wouldn't be Glasgow without a police siren in the background. Right, so what we're going to do is fly in the middle here. Just watching Chopper now. Try and make the view quite Spider-Man like. I'll go right up. So first I'll check the roof. Then I'll come along the front of the building, or the back, wherever this side is. Let's see. Where's the bee nest? So I don't see it there. Loads of air conditioning there, solar panels. It's just this bit down here. Obviously the gardener's meant to do it like that. And over here, right, so I'm going to do is, like the furthest point, it's down the middle. Because the height of the building is making it awkward, so I'm going to fly out here, watching Chopper, so my view might be a bit messed, and we're going to get to see that Bartley sign. Right, fly back a bit. As you see, I'm down there, keep an eye on the big one. Right, I got the Bartley sign, but I can't fly by the front yet, I need to take off again. So we'll just lock down the building there. Just windows. I said I don't normally do offices, but this place is really interesting. It's like a wee mini village on its own. Your Bartley's building down there. So when I go to that side I can come lower. So I'm just going to go up higher here. And I'm going to check what they've got on the rooftop. So they've got air conditioning as well. What's that in there? It's like a big vent. I'm just trying to avoid taking off twice. See that solar panels as well. Right, so we stay in the middle and get a view out here. So what I want to do is come back out a bit, just come back a bit. I'm going to get my first 360 here. Get back again. As you can see, my line of sight right down there. Yeah, I'm going to take a 360 here. So I'll post that 360 on my Facebook, same day I upload the video on YouTube. Right, so over here, I'm limited here as well, unless I want to take off twice. Come down lower. Just down here. Right, we can check the solar panels and that a bit. So this is the furthest I can go. Just have to zoom in this bit. So see Bartley's sign there. That's a Bartley's bank, I think. I think that's for the public use. I think it's all part of Bartley's for the public, but some are offices. Really took off in an awkward place. Right, I'm going to bring them back to the front. I said these videos are to kind of show you different places, but it's also photography rights. And I'm saying the guys were sound. Didn't speak to anybody for Bartley's, but the security were a great representation for them. Right, so I'm watching Chopper fly along the front here. Let's check this Bartley's sign. So if you look, do a 360 by video. This house is there. Got the Kingston Bridge over there. City centre in there. Lock down the squiggly bridge. So I think I'll take another 360 here. Turn back around towards the building. Take it here. So I'll also post that to Facebook. So we're going to go back a bit. I'll just take the edge before the water. It nearly took me out. Go and zoom a bit. Oh, it's a bit too close. I'm going to fly right across. Do you see that Bartley's sign? Or their offices in there, a restaurant and a gym. What's out there? Nice wee balcony there. A bit closer. Fly across. Another Bartley's sign. Fly right round. In fact, I'm going to get in there a nosy. But I'll fly to the edge first. Check what's that. Oh, fancy. That'd be great on a summer's day, sitting up there. Nice and peaceful. Fly right round. Watching the big game. Get that building in. Can we see in that? I'm going to fly above there. Can we see in there? I think we can. What can we see? Just metal frames or metal stairs. So I'm just flying over. Right, this is by the Bartley campus. So fly over the water. See city centre. I do hate being above water, especially when there's a seagull below them. So just a wee fly up the Clyde, over the squiggly bridge. Oh, see that big seagull going from? Right, that's a warning. Bring her back towards us. I'm nowhere near a nest, I'm in the middle of the water, but if a seagull was to bump him, I bet he's a goner. Especially, I've got a fear of flying over water. You've seen so many videos online, and I don't want Chopper being another. Right, again, we'll just take the Bartley sign in. Let me zoom in there. Bring the biggie back towards the building. Go off zoom. I think that has covered it. But I can understand how it's hard to explain. If I go back up, still get 49% of battery. Going again, above the roof. Here, watch the big game. I mean, the winds are between 12 and 16 now. Well, that's what it's forecast. It's really windy. So I'm going to just fly side on. Because I'm doing the last 360, a wee glance, and I said about a restaurant up the top. Again, keep my line of sight. Was in there. In fact, I've not took a 360 for the middle, so I've got one in the middle as well. So over here, turn round, fly over a wee bit. Now I'm going to come below roof height, but I'm still above the roof height to his right hand side. Right, so I had to take 2 attempts to do that 360 because the winds were picking up. And a couple of seagulls were flying next to them. Right, so I'm going to fly out to the water again and try and catch a choo-choo going by. Would be silly with a drone. I can't believe it, when I did that 360 about 5 trains went by. Oh, there's one coming. Choo-choo time. Grandad slow into the central. Can we see the central for here? You can just see it. Central station over there. Right, I'm going to bring a big one back down because the battery's low now. Wasting too much time doing that 360. And he's above the water now. That good fun, buddy. What do you mean you want to open a bank account? So that's all finished for the Bartley campus in Glasgow. Now, we didn't speak to anybody for Bartley's, but the security we spoke to were a great representation for Bartley's because they knew they couldn't stop us. Obviously want us to fly safely, and that's why I always fly as well. And that was a great takeoff point. But if you're flying a drone here, it's not for beginners. Plus you'd probably want to do 2 takeoffs, which I should have done, but the main point was to show I can fly the drone here. So a massive thanks to 999, I forget the rest of your name, pal, but thanks for requesting this. Now with the chopper ring, I'm not going to leave it in this area because it is well maintained, so if I leave it somewhere it'll probably get found. So I'll go towards the main street and I'll find a good wee stashy place to put it. So the chopper ring in this one, I think I'm going to stash it in one of these boxes. There's an Aston Martin, nice car. Jump across here. Right in this corner, I'm going to put a bit of cardboard on top of it, so hopefully nobody sees it. So massive thanks to G31999, I double checked before I said it. So massive thanks to you for suggesting this place. If you liked that video guys, girls, please hit the like button. No subscribe, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.